Food is foundational, right? Because our health determines whether or not, we can show up in community. It determines whether or not we can show up at work at our best, at school. Food is like one of the top most influential factors in our long-term health outcomes. About Fresh is a Boston-based nonprofit. We were founded back in 2013, and we are dedicated to making sure everybody around Boston, and increasingly nationally, has access to the food that they need to feel at their best. Our mission was inspired by my experience working at a community health center here in Boston. And I was working at one point with a group of clinicians and low-income single moms. At the same time, the only grocery store in the neighborhood closed. From that point, that just inspired the recognition that food, particularly like grocery retail, is completely cut off and divorced from our healthcare system. And brought on all of our programs, inspired us to build Fresh Truck, our mobile market model, and we've just been building from there. We operate 3 converted trucks as mobile grocery stores around Boston to just make fresh, healthy, affordable food available in neighborhoods where there's not other healthy, affordable, fresh food options. All of our shoppers are able to walk onto our truck, pick out all of their food, and then they check out at the back of the truck. So it's set up like a normal market, just inside of a bus.
Right now we're standing on a truck. It's the Fresh Truck, and where people come and purchase their vegetables and fruits. When you're standing out on the street, it looks like a bizarre green painted school bus with fruits and vegetables on it. But when you come on, we've done as much as we can to make it like the produce department in a grocery store, and people shop they use hand baskets like they would in the grocery store. And the idea is to make it as much like a grocery store shopping experience as possible.
But I think versus a typical grocery store, we make sure that the price point of our food is affordable, and so we're generally 20%, probably a lot cheaper at this point now, like with inflation, than a typical grocery store, to make sure that we're stretching food budgets as far as possible.
So Hyde Park is the southernmost part of Boston. It is also extremely diverse. It does have a high degree of food insecurity. And so this partnership and About Fresh really helped to address that. To be able to have access to nutritional food at an affordable price consistently and know where you can get that type of food is a huge opportunity for this community. The truck will pull up, usually it's like 2:30, between 2:30 and 3 o'clock, which aligns well with when a lot of the kids are getting out of school. A lot of the parents that are here are doing pickup. So they'll come, they'll grab their child, head to the food truck, grab some stuff, and then they usually head out. This focus on really healthy and nutritious, wholesome food has really changed, I think, the dynamic of nutrition for this community.
Right here, total comes to $32.18, please.
We met the Whole Cities Foundation, gosh, it's got to be a while back, and I think that was initially as a result of some Whole Foods employees coming out and volunteering at our mobile market, seeing the work firsthand.
I found out that through the Whole Cities Foundation, I could apply as a team member for a Community First grant for Fresh Truck. And I did that. I went through that process, and they were one of the organizations chosen to receive a grant. The grant that they received at Fresh Truck was used in different ways, but mostly to help support their growing online ordering system, where people would just come order online and then come to the bus and pick up their pre-packed order.
When COVID happened, we had to kind of restructure our market format and think of new ways to increase access for our communities, for our customers. And one of those opportunities was bringing an online store. The opportunity with e-commerce came that we would give customers the option to pre-order in advance and bypass the line, bypass having to go to a location for a certain amount of time. It's a very quick, very simple process. You select your items, you pay on the spot, and then you're on your way. We want to give people more buying power, right? We want them to be able to buy more for less, right? And I think that is the step forward. And e-commerce is one of those kind of positions. We can access more people and we can access more food, and hopefully at a cheaper cost.
Our newer program is called Fresh Connect. That is a program designed to increase healthy food purchasing power for low-income households that are experiencing food insecurity. That program has become a payment technology platform composed of a prepaid debit card and a HIPAA-compliant web application that makes it possible for healthcare providers, insurers, community-based organizations, and government agencies to cover the cost of healthy food for people and then measure impact on the tail end. So that program is really powerful from the standpoint that it gives folks just a lot of agency and a lot of choice to go shopping on their time from grocery stores that are close by to where they live that they already love. You know, Fresh Truck has been serving Boston neighborhoods for coming up on a decade. And over that period of time, you know, we built wonderful relationships with a network of partners and of course, like with our shoppers. We see a really great opportunity to harness all of those partnerships and all of those relationships to really start organizing to address the underlying causes that allow food insecurity to persist in the first place.